come up in the casting box, inside the lines is your boundaries. If you're casting and you're stepping out of the line, for example, like this, you're going to get a 0. You got to stay inside the boundaries of the box. Same thing on your distance casts. If you're casting, laying down, if you're outside the box, it's going to be a 0. Now, but if you're casting, you step out and then you kind of realize you're back, you're fine. If you lay down outside the box, you're going to get a 0. When you start, everything's reeled up. So you come on the mat, line in hand, line on reel. All the fly line has to be off the carpet. Just like that. If you have a little bit stretched here, fine, but all the line has got to be off the carpet.
Shoot.
Okay? And then you'll compete. Target cast closest to farthest. The judge will point them out and call them out so that it's easy for you to choose those. You get 1 cast at each target. So take your time, get over your targets. A lot of points add up in targets. And so when you're casting, 5 is the center, 3, 1, and 0. Those are your points on the targets. And you'll run through each one of them just right after you do the next one, and so on and so forth. And then after you've completed the target course, you get 2 long distance casts. And you have to stay in bounds to get those scores. Now, for example, if I get out there, my whole objective is to win. There's a lot of strategy. I know I can throw 90 feet plus. Can I do it consistently every time and keep it in bounds? No. 6 feet wide? No, I can't. So, I may just come in and get me a score the first round. It may only be 60. Whatever it might be. Make sure I get a score. Strategy, strategy, strategy. And then I might pick it up and, reach into it a little bit more and see if I can't get a farther score or whatever. It's up to you whether you want to reach for them both, whatever. If you lay down on your back cast, if I go in motion and I'm competing my distance cast and I lay down, that's 0. So once you go in motion, you got to finish. The gentleman that won yesterday in the 4, 5, and 6 division, he got all out of control. He was doing all this and he was catching and he had it all lost the whole time. But he kept in motion, he saved himself, and he got a score. But if you lay down, you're gonna get scored wherever that is, front or back. On the targets, again, I'll go back to them. If you are casting and you're tapping the mat, you're gonna get scored wherever that touches. I don't care if it's out a ways. If you're tapping the mat, you're gonna get 0 scored or scored where it touches. So there's no ticking of the mat. And the reason that is because a lot of guys will try to get measurements by doing that. Once I've got a measurement, it's pretty much just point and shoot to hit the targets. So it's all relative. It's a fishing competition. Once your time's up, you've got to be laid down by the time the time's up. So if he says 3, 2, 1, and I'm still up in the air, you're not getting scored. It's got to be down on the carpet to get a score. In the final round, there'll be a bonus target set up. It'll be a 1 range. It's 500 points positive or 500 points negative. It's optional only. So you can choose to go after it or you can opt not to. Safety net. If you're at the very bottom of the line and you think that you've got to be able to hit that target to take the lead, you may want to chance it or you may want to play it safe. I've seen it take a bottom guy to the top, and I've seen it take a lot of the guys that are in the top out. So it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. Has anybody got any questions? It's pretty basic. Announcer will take care of everything. He'll call you up. Practice mats over here if you want to warm up. He'll call you to it. So you got a few minutes to warm up before you step out on the mat. Numbers will accumulate from first round to second round, so it's a combination of both. But no, there'll be only one person on the mat at a time.
Hey, Brady, what's the time limit?
Time limit's going to be, we're going to set it down into 3 minutes.